In a land where cacti outnumber cell towers and the horizon stretches further than a fiber optic cable, it's time for Valley's Bits, Bytes and Banter, the podcast that looks a bit behind the scenes of a broadband provider, takes a big bite out of the tech world, and serves up a healthy dose of banter with people in our community. And now, without further ado, here's your host, Bob Dahlstrom.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Valley's Bits, Bytes, and Banter, the podcast I do with my co-host and partner in crime, Ralph Score. Ralph, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Glad to hear that. I'm Bob Dahlstrom, in case you guys didn't know. I didn't say my name, but Lee Patterson was gracious enough to say it at the intro.
Yeah, and he's also known as something else. We won't go there. Well, actually, let me explain it. We also know Bob as Buttery Bob.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I think we may have told that on here before. I don't know.
We might have to have a whole episode on nicknames around here. We're not going to say what my nickname is.
We won't get into Ralph's.
We're not going there at all.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you didn't know, and if this is your first time listening to us, welcome and appreciate you tuning in, downloading, and we hope you get to share, review, like our podcast. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, we're on iHeart, we're on Spotify, and of course hosted on Podbean with a free app, or go to the website, search Valley's Bits with an apostrophe S, and you'll find all our episodes there.
And I found out that if you just go to Google and search Valley's Bits, it'll take you right to our blog page.
Oh, excellent.
Where the podcast appears too.
Right, and that's right on our website, vtc.net/blog.
Yep.
And on YouTube, you can find us there. And Gila Valley Central.
Yeah,
they have a podcast page, and we're listed there as well. We appreciate that with GilaValleyCentral.net.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Doing that with us.
Yeah.
And that's good to see you.
Yeah. We're coming up on summer here pretty soon, so our guest today is really important as far as some of the summer stuff going on.
And that's true. We have a great guest lined up, as all our guests are fantastic guests we have on our podcast. Today is no exception.
Kind of what our show is all about, But
right.
But I wanted to kind of cover a couple things right now. That, they throw around the term, digital equity a lot, right? And a lot of people may not understand what that actually is, because the federal government just basically pulled funding for any kind of programs related to that. But really, digital equity refers to a state where every person in the community has the necessary information technology to participate in everything within society, whether it's education or work or telehealth or something like that. And it really plays into a lot about what we do, because we serve rural communities. Yeah,
trying to provide equal access, or in some cases, like our fiber to the home.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little better access than what other people may have to those services that are available from the internet.
Yeah, so part of that, what it means is everybody having equal access to the information, all those opportunities that are out there that can basically help them out. If somebody really has struggled getting to a doctor or something like that, the ability to be able to have telehealth from a couple hours away from someone can really make a big difference in their life, or educational opportunities or job searches. I don't know too many places anymore where you don't do an online application process for a job.
And certain sites and apps to go to strictly for searching databases for jobs, that other companies will also post them there as well.
Or even information. If you were to go to Cochise County, where are you going to get information from Cochise County about stuff? You're going to go to their website. Right?
Exactly.
And if you've got a poor connection or no connection, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to be behind the eight ball as far as information. But Heather Floyd and I were talking about this, so federal government funding has gone away. So what does that mean? That means really other people have to pick up the slack now on that if we want these programs in place. And part of those things is teaching people too. Like we want to do classes on internet safety and cybersecurity. We want to teach people about how to get the most out of their smartphone. And some of that stuff is just to be able to do it properly takes some money behind it. So we were talking about it's the private sector that has to step up. And it's also maybe state and city governments have to step up to get behind these efforts to be able to do these educational opportunities for people wherever we go, whether it's through a library or a community center or a chamber building or something like that.
Exactly.
So we're hoping to see some action come out of that and really find the local stakeholders who can get behind these initiatives and make it better for everybody, not only in the community, but around the community.
It's important, not only now, but whatever the future may bring.
Yeah, exactly.
Because all that stuff is working towards the internet. It's all online.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep. So anyway, shifting gears a little bit, and a lot of times we do spurious facts, like, what are horrible foods and that kind of stuff. But today we're going to play right into our guest today, and we're going to have some surprising facts about fire, of all things, right?
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire safety.
Fire!
fire.
Okay. So did
We
you
need a sound effect there.
Yeah, it's either that or it's break out into song and dance, one of the two. Yeah, so did you know that fire can double every 30 seconds? A fire can rapidly expand, potentially becoming a major hazard within a very short time. And our guests can probably speak to that.
I think so.
Yeah. Do you know that trees can explode in fire? This happens in wildfires, right? It gets so hot that it's like that. Yeah, he combusted right in front of us.
Now, a sentence you never thought you'd say.
Yeah, that's right. He combusted. Okay. Did you know that firefighting was once an Olympic sport? This one, I love this one, right? Did you know? Okay.
I did not know this.
In the 1900 Olympics in Paris, they included firefighting as a competitive event. We were talking about that. It's like, what did they like? Light a building on fire downtown and say, go.
Yeah, and go. Click. You know, I don't know. That's interesting.
Oh, you came in last.
The bad news is you came in last. The real bad news, you came in last.
Here's a couple of cool things, okay? You can start a fire with ice, right? Under the right conditions, the heat and pressure generated by ice can be used to ignite a fire, of all things. That's pure science, you know?
Wow, that's really getting into the science.
That's like a Bill Nye the Science Guy thing.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
right?
Sounds like a special episode.
Right
there.
Yeah. And finally, the Great Fire of London ended a plague. Of all things, right? While devastating, the 1666 fire in London effectively eliminated the bubonic plague outbreak by killing the rats and fleas that carried the disease.
Well, fire would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that can kill bacteria and all kind. You know, that's why you cook your food
and you heat up a needle before you jab it in yourself and hurt yourself just from the needle itself.
It's all about heat.
That's
hey,
right.
I have a couple of tech facts.
Yeah,
little facts for you here. You know how when you go to a website and you put in and they want you to verify it and you have to like choose all the motorcycles or whatever you may have to do, and it's called a CAPTCHA. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, like pick all the pictures that are a crosswalk.
Right.
Yeah.
Or put it in the certain one. Yeah. CAPTCHA is actually an acronym.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It stands for Completely Automatic Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart. And a Turing test is exactly that. That's a Turing test when you're having to choose the items out of the different pictures.
So I wonder when AI is going to get smart enough to start doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Where it can pick that up.
Where you just go, okay, I pick out those pictures that are crosswalks where it recognizes them.
Be interesting to test that out and see it. And real quick,
it still can't tell the difference between a blueberry muffin and a chihuahua face.
Hey, well, I can't either. I mean, come on. No, what's the one? Is a potato and a certain puppy? It was a potato.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
A pit bull puppy or a Shar-Pei or something
potato,
like that.
Yeah. Did you know Google's name was misspelled? It is misspelled. Well, because I know what you're thinking. How can that be?
How can you misspell Google?
Well, it was a word they created, right? It was a word that never existed. They created. Right. Now it's an iconic brand. Yeah. Well, they originally meant to be spelled Google, Googol, which is a math term.
Oh,
and it got misspelled, and it stuck. And that is now an iconic brand, but it was misspelled from the get-go.
Oh, my gosh.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
They created a new word, created a whole iconic brand
with a new
word.
And those guys thought they thought they were smart.
Yeah, they thought they were smart. And they're like, we meant to do that, right? No, I don't think so at all. Okay, now that you guys, your brains are really swollen and hurting.
Fried, because it's fire today.
Yes. We're going to take a small break here, and we'll be right back with our special guest. You guys going to stick around and learn all about fire safety and some other things as well. That's all I'm saying to tease it. We'll be right back.
Hey, are you playing Fortnite?
Yeah.
Let's go, man. I'm gonna beat you so bad.
You know I could go pro if I wanted to. You do not stand a chance. Besides, we always just play against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to find more people to play with.
Hey, Valley Telecom has the Fiber Gaming Network, an online community where we can compete in tournaments and win real prizes, or just meet new gamers and participate in casual game nights.
Whoa, that's so cool. But how much does it cost?
It's actually free. Valley Telecom is providing this to their community at no charge. We just go to vtc.net/gaming and sign up.
Wow, that's so awesome. Now I can show everyone I'm the best.
Get in the game with a Fiber Gaming Network powered by Valley Telecom. Go to vtc.net/gaming to sign up today.
Welcome back to Valley's Bits, Bytes, and Banter, the podcast I do with my co-host and partner in crime, Ralph Score. And we've talked before where you can find our podcast, but the talk about we just heard talking about Fiber Gaming Network, guys. That's something. If you're an online gamer and you like to play games at all, whether you're a casual fan or hardcore gamer, like to compete, fibergamingnetwork.com is available for free, courtesy of Valley Telecom.
And you can win some pretty cool stuff there.
They really have, you can almost call it 2.0 version. There's new games you can play, really nice prizes you can win, like Steam Decks, Xboxes, Amazon gift cards, and more. And it's all free to play. You have to register. Go to fibergamingnetwork.com, and where it says find your ISP or internet service provider, pull down the list, find Valley Telecom, click on that, follow the steps, get set up, and have fun. And like I said, they have community nights, they have trivia nights. Weekends are usually set aside for tournaments. And we're talking anywhere from Super Mario Brothers to Halo Infinite to they're doing NBA 2K25 now, Marvel Rivals.
So they have upped the game.
Fall Guys.
Literally, they've upped the game.
They've really upped the game on that.
Nice.
Check it out, guys.
Nice.
For more details and to see information about it, go to vtc.net/gaming.
Yeah.
But let's get into our podcast. We're excited to have our special guest today. And ladies and gentlemen, our guest has been in our Willcox community for 46 years and counting. She arrived here from a small town, Maricopa. If you don't know where Maricopa is, I do. I know where Maricopa is. You know where Maricopa is, Ralph?
I do.
All right, very
I got
good.
friends that live in Maricopa.
Everybody else, you go on, work the Google on the internet machine and go figure it out if you don't.
Of course, now you could say, is she from the town of Maricopa or Maricopa County?
She said Maricopa, Arizona. So I'm saying
that's
it's the town of Maricopa.
Yeah.
And
I remember that when it used to be like, a one trailer town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I was there.
Yeah.
When I went through the police academy back in 1990, one of the officers I was in there, we were good friends, was there for the town of Maricopa. And he was a great guy. Anyway, she's been, like I said, been in the community. She became the first female firefighter in Willcox in 1988, where she went to work for the Willcox Police Department as a 911 dispatcher. She retired as the communications supervisor, but is still currently the assistant fire chief. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Patti Ackerson-Rodriguez. Patti, how you doing?
Doing great. Thank you.
Good. Hey, thanks for coming today.
Sure.
You probably got to the lobby and thought, I still got time to get away and change my mind, but you
Sure.
still came in.
I did.
That's very brave of you. I appreciate that, Patti. Thank you.
You can still change your mind.
Okay, let me go. No.
Yeah, let you go. So you moved here from Maricopa.
Yes.
Why? What made you come to Willcox?
My husband and I had taken an EMT course because in Maricopa, we had no fire department. We had no EMS. We had nothing at the time
Wow.
we lived there. So between about 4 other businesses in the community, we started a fire department. We started a rescue unit.
Wow.
And so we thought, well, we'll expand and we'll actually go through the state, get certified as EMTs and everything else. Well, it wasn't, you have to realize that Maricopa is surrounded by Ackerson Indian Reservation.
Right, yeah.
Back then, we had lots of fires with no help, lots of deaths with no help. Ambulances coming from Casa Grande or Phoenix, hours away.
Yeah, it would take forever.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we decided, well, let's see if we can reach out and expand our horizons. And we
Right.
did. We put in applications all over the state, and for whatever reason, Willcox chose us, basically.
Wow.
We came down here in, I think it was June of 1979, and we interviewed with then, which was actually the board of the Chiricahua Ambulance Service,
Okay.
and the city and everybody, and told them what we'd like to do, and they were trying to look for somebody that wanted to actually run the ambulance service. And so we were notified like in October, day after Christmas, we had everything packed up and moved down here in 1979.
To get things started here. And that's another thing to talk about. I know that we're pretty blessed for a rural community to have the fire department that we have and the public safety services we have. And is it still all volunteer?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's the even more amazing part. It's all volunteer. And you guys fight wildfires, you guys protect the town, and outlying areas,
Yes, we
wherever
do.
you guys may be called to assist. You guys must be busy right now a lot.
We are. We average about 2 to 3 calls a day. This year, we're already well past what we were last year at this time.
Really?
By about 100 calls.
Oh, wow.
So,
Well, it's been dry now for a couple of seasons, so
yeah, we're not looking well.
Is a lot,
yeah. We don't want to jinx.
We're not going to
anything.
jinx anything, nothing,
so
especially
Patty,
with this wind.
is a lot of that in town, or is a lot of that just surrounding areas? As far as the calls you're getting right now.
It varies.
Okay.
Because we do cover the interstate and
Right.
we go all the way past Graham County line. We go into Graham County because they don't like to come around the mountain and it takes so long for them to get there. So we do go into Graham County to help people, Kansas Settlement, Dos Cabezas, all the way to the Thing, all the way to the state line to help Bowie and San Simon in that area. So, and then everything here in town.
Wow.
That's quite an area.
Yeah.
That's quite a territory to cover.
It is.
Not many fire departments. First of all, in cities, yes, it's more densely populated, but they don't cover geographic areas that big, not even close.
No.
Not by fire districts. But wow, that's a big area. How many volunteer firefighters do you have at the moment?
At the moment, we are down a few people, so we are down to 13.
Okay.
That's still not a lot of people to handle the
No,
load
and-
that you guys have.
And 24/7 coverage.
Yes, and most of them have jobs outside the fire department,
Right.
and so we have to rely on them being able to leave their jobs if their employers let it. And sometimes there's just 2 of us that go out there until we can get some more help.
Wow.
And you also have to provide training.
Yes, we provide our training in-house.
And that's got to be tough, too, to schedule all that.
Yeah,
Get all the volunteers together at the same time. Holy smokes, right? No pun. No
Yeah,
pun intended,
yeah, really.
intended there. But
This show is going to be full of puns today.
it very much is. I mean, we have training twice a month, and sometimes, it's very limited, but we have a very dedicated group of guys right now. I'm very proud of the ones we have.
Is some of that training, does that go towards certifications and that too for these guys?
In-house certification, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
and you've got to have equipment. You've got to have working equipment, good equipment, newer equipment. That takes money.
Yeah.
And how does that work? I mean, you guys obviously would have a budget. You work with the city, but
Right.
we're a rural community. You can only do so much. So there's got to be other sources.
Well, thanks to Chief Hatfield and our grant writer for the city, we have been able to get some really nice equipment.
Yeah, I saw you guys have some great stuff.
Yeah. We got new, what do I want to say, battery operated Hearst equipment, which is awesome. We don't have to drag around our hydraulic hoses and, the supplies. I mean, because not only are the tools heavy, but all that other stuff when you try to get to a patient and everything. So with them being cordless, it's very nice.
Nice.
And makes it a lot easier.
Oh man, I bet.
And we've gotten some new, what do I want to call them? Gas detectors for hazmat situations.
That's important.
That's important.
Gas leaks.
Between the city getting some new ones, and then we were able to get a grant from the county to get some. So a lot of our stuff is through grants. We do have a budget through the city, which
Right.
helps us.
But yeah, there's such a need, and you can. It's hard to predict fire season. I mean, you're available and needed all year round.
Yeah. Mhm.
But especially in a drought type of situation like we've been in for a while,
Right.
like you said, the calls go up. So what do you see right now? Right, either right now or maybe overall, maybe like the number one reason for a fire. What number one reason fires get started in our area? What do you think? I mean, there's a lot of human caused
Does
ones.
that look
I'd
like
imagine.
pick one of a dozen,
Yeah,
right?
pick one of it. Yeah, right. I mean,
Well-
I know that's a tough thing, but where do you see some of the common causes? Let's put it that way.
In this point in time, since we have not had any rain, we don't have any lightning.
Right.
Most of our fires are caused by human.
Human error.
Right. And on the freeway, a lot of it is caused by overheated brakes, blowouts, vehicles pulling off into the high grass that they don't realize that the undercarriage of that car is very hot.
Right.
And
Right.
so it can,
And the dry grass is a little tall.
Yep. Cigarettes
Oh yeah,
I bet.
and
Like
just-
dragging chains.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those spark like crazy.
No, and people don't stop and realize it.
Yeah.
You have a flat tire and you drive down the road to get to the next town to get it fixed. Well, all you're doing is throwing sparks and different things, and which causes fires.
And then with some of the windy conditions we get down here, it just goes.
Yeah, you add some wind to it.
No, it's considered breezy in Willcox.
Okay, that's right. Well, I live out where the Stronghold fire was recently, and that was pretty. We came really close to.
Yeah.
We were in the. We were in the ready stage
Yes.
where we were at. So.
I remember years ago, Jose Rios, when he was at the police department, he said it perfectly. He said, it's windy a lot of places. Willcox is one of the few where you can see it.
Yeah,
Very true.
Very
true.
It's actually we've been seeing it a lot lately.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, that's pretty accurate. So,
Well,
especially as
true.
dry as it's
Patty,
been.
I have a question. So, in other words, we're coming into fire season, and other than the obvious things you're talking about, as far as your tow chains, be aware, right, of stuff. What
Yeah.
are some things that people can do around their own houses and property, as far as like fire safety and that kind of thing, whether it's inside or outside?
Well, inside, smoke detectors, CO2 detectors. Instead of having stuff piled around your washer, dryer, hot water heaters, everything, which a lot of people don't have a lot of storage, so let's just, stuff it in there.
Yeah. We're stacking on top.
Exactly.
No
But,
ventilation.
if your kids are going to be doing some cooking and everything, make sure they're supervised. Your barbecues, the same thing. Make sure they're clean. They're very well maintained, because if the hose from the propane tank is got a leak in it, that's a hazard. Outside the homes, FireWise says to have your house at least 100 to 150 feet clearance with no
Wow.
overhanging trees,
Right.
which a lot of people, the trees and everything gives them shade, so they don't want to destroy that part.
Right.
But there's what little bit of moisture we do get, the weeds in this area, I mean, that's all it takes. It's
Yeah.
just half an ounce of moisture, and we've got weeds 6
Yeah.
inches tall in an instant.
And then a
Everywhere.
couple minutes later, they're no longer green.
No.
Yeah.
And that's, they dry out just as fast as
Yeah.
they grow. So it's just a lot of diligence, maintain your
maintain it,
property
yeah.
and keep
I'm
it
over
clean.
here. I'm over here making a list. Things I need to get home and do.
Yeah.
Patty's talking about
I guess
protect my house.
I guess I
haven't
gotta
done
get,
in a while.
I got to get my mower out this
Yeah.
weekend. That's-
Well, mine are. I have a pine tree between my house and my neighbor's house.
oh,
and
that's one of those combustibles.
yeah, it's been dry. And there's a lot of dry pine needles on the ground, so I got to rake those
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, wind blows
Yes.
that stuff around. It has a tendency to collect and gather somewhere.
Right.
I think
And
we
that's
should just
a great pile to.
we should just
start
cut
a
that
fire.
tree down, Bob.
You think so?
Yeah, we should just go.
On our next episode, Valley's Bits, Bytes, Banter, Bits of Pine Tree. That's what we're going to have.
I got a couple of chainsaws we can use.
Yes, Patty, you want to talk to Ralph about chainsaws?
They can cause fires too if you don't use them properly.
They get really hot. Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, we have to be, everybody has to be careful to some extent, but
Yes.
especially in our area, we have to be very, very cognizant of those things around your house, your neighbor's house. And even just like you said, out driving, just you got to be very aware and very careful.
Very true. Very true.
Very, very true. I was going to bring up something. I totally blanked on it. Oh, let's talk, speaking of fires, 4th of July. Let's talk that real quick.
Okay.
Because the city of Willcox puts on a fireworks display. Every year, usually at the football field. Don't know.
Yes.
I'm assuming this year they'll be ready to do that.
From what I was told this morning, talking to the school and everything, they're going to be ready for graduation and they'll be ready for the 4th. So
Awesome.
we'll keep our fingers crossed.
It's looking good. Yes,
Yes, it
definitely
is.
fingers crossed. So for the 4th, let's talk prevention. Let's talk safety for the 4th, because there are certain laws, only certain fireworks you can have in the state of Arizona that are legal, but doesn't mean people can't go across New Mexico or some other place that they are legal and buy them and bring them back. So what would you tell people? Give us some tips maybe on how they can keep themselves safe on the 4th. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You can sit at the football field, watch our fireworks, and throughout the whole city, you can actually see people setting off fireworks that go almost as high as ours do, which are illegal, but
Right.
they figure that nobody's going to find them. And,
Yeah.
There's no repercussion.
It's funny when the
Until they
fireworks start,
start a
they have to come
fire,
from
yeah.
somewhere.
Very true.
Yeah.
Until they start a fire. Yeah.
Yeah. And this year, each year that we have fireworks, we do have, sometimes Sunsights comes over and helps, sometimes Bowie comes over and helps. We have people that will go out and they kind of patrol the area around the football field just to make sure, because we do have ambers and stuff that come down from the fireworks
Right.
that could start fires, and it has happened.
So you're on high alert pretty much. Yeah.
We are. And so we have people that monitor around the football field, in the football field, make sure that nobody gets injured and we don't start any fires.
Right.
Well, what goes up must come down.
Yeah, very true.
That's science. You got to be careful.
Very true.
Those things are going to have to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
So be very careful. And you guys, that's got to be costly. Not only
It
for
is.
the city provides the manpower for you guys, and you guys ignite the fireworks, do all that, maintain it, manage it, make sure it's all safe.
Right.
But you guys also the quality of the presentation, donations help a lot
Very
with
much,
that. I'm
yeah.
just trying to be nice how I'm saying that.
Yeah.
The more money people donate, the more you can do.
Yes. And this year we have increased the number of fireworks that we've got.
Ooh, really?
So you need even
Yes.
more money, which is good.
Yes. And we were very lucky to get the fireworks we got before the price went sky high.
Oh, I bet they did. Good planning. Good planning, Patty.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, right now we are in our donation campaign.
Yep.
Right.
I have mailed out stuff. I have delivered stuff. And we're starting to get, slowly but surely we're getting donations in. And the city actually funds half of it. And we try to get donations for the other half.
Right.
So with the insurance and the total cost of the fireworks, it runs us about $10,000 a year to
Wow.
put on the
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all the pennies and everything that everybody can help with would be greatly appreciated.
Well, how can they donate? If people in the community want to donate to the fireworks display for Willcox, how can they do that?
Actually, they can, the city has a PayPal account set up just for the fireworks.
Very nice.
And they can go on our website. We have a Facebook page. It's called Willcox Fire Rescue. And we're going to be putting that on there where they can donate. They can call us. They can mail it to us, take it to City Hall, bring it to the police department, whatever they need to do.
Whatever they can do to get it there.
Exactly.
And the fireworks displays, people can have at home. Ground displays are okay, correct?
Yes.
Within reason. Again, clear area.
Right.
Hopefully not very windy. Don't do it under a tree. Those kinds of things. Very clear, open space to do
Yes.
it. But those are okay. Those are legal.
Yeah, the ground ones are okay. It's
Okay.
the ones that go in the air that they're not supposed to take care of.
Yep.
Well, before this gets too out of hand, for it's too explosive, Ralph,
Yeah.
we're going to take a quick break. We're talking with Patti Ackerson-Rodriguez. We'll be right back, guys, after this short timeout. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The endless options for streaming movies, shows, and sports can be overwhelming. Valley Telecom is here to help with Stream Now, your ultimate online reference for all things streaming. Whether you're a binge watcher or just looking for a quick episode to enjoy, we've got you covered. Discover recommendations, compare platforms, and find the best content for your favorite streaming devices. Stream Now makes it simple to get the most out of your streaming experience. Enjoy the journey of discovering your next favorite show, movie, or live event all in one place. The best part is it's free to use. Unlock the door to endless viewing possibilities by going to gostreamnow.com/VTC today.
Welcome back to Valley's Bits, Bytes, and Banter. I'm your host, Bob Dahlstrom, along with my co-host, Ralph Score. And today we're talking with the Willcox Assistant Fire Chief, Patti Ackerson-Rodriguez. And remind everybody, if you have any ideas or questions or things or just comments you want to let us know about, you can always email us at podcast@teamvtg.net. Attention, Ralph Score.
I'll take that call. I'll take that call.
I'm just kidding. Just send it to that email, guys. We would love to hear, and we do encourage everybody to download, share, review, and like our episodes.
Subscribe
and Patti,
to us.
Please.
Please subscribe to us.
Yeah. Hopefully, we love doing it. Hopefully, you love listening to it. So, Patti, let's talk. We were talking about fire prevention. Now, you also do things with the schools.
Yes, we do.
As far as education. And do you go to the schools? Do they come to you? How does that work?
We do both.
Well, really?
Yeah. If they need us to go to the school because they can't get the kids to us, we'll take a truck over there. We talk to them. We don't go real elaborate because some of them are just at that age that they're not quite,
Could be
ready to understand it all.
Yeah, it could be a little overwhelming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys do some of the stuff with career fairs, don't you?
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of the times the schools will come to us. They'll bus the kids over there. They'll walk up from the elementary school and they get to tour the firehouse and we talk about fire prevention there.
So do you guys have a Dalmatian?
No.
I was just
Patti
thinking
that was Patty's reaction to tired of hearing that, or she really, really wishes she had a Dalmatian.
Where is the Dalmatian? I want to know where with the fire hat on top of the engine.
We've got a stuffed one, but
Perfect.
That'll work.
Those are they don't eat much food. That's easy to take care of.
nobody has to take it home or take it out to walk.
Doesn't say no cleanup. That's great.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So, real quick, if somebody is interested in becoming a volunteer firefighter, how would they contact you guys to do that?
Actually, they would go to the police department, pick up an application, turn it in, and then it's given to us. We look it over. They have to go through a background check because we are a public safety department.
Sure.
And if they meet the qualifications and they are really, really interested, then we bring them on board and see if they like all of us. And if they don't, then they can, say, sorry, we don't like you.
Sorry.
Is there
Sorry, you didn't meet the requirements.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As far as requirements in that, is there do you have some physical standards and that kind of stuff as far as what they need to be able to do as far as weight to carry or anything like that?
We do all the training and everything.
Okay.
Because some people don't realize exactly what we have to do.
Right.
Yeah, they're not really sure what they're getting into.
From a physical
Very
standpoint, it's very, very physical.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I mean, you can lose as much as 10 pounds just water weight in one fire call.
Is part of that from the turnout gear that they wear and that kind of stuff too? Because that's pretty heavy.
About 85 pounds worth, if
Wow.
not more.
Yeah, the heat, and I imagine all that would combine to really evaporate that water weight
It does.
quickly. Man.
Sounds like a great diet plan to me.
Ralph's going to go institute this weekend at his house. Let him get his chainsaw. He'll pack his 2 dogs on his back and more equipment. He'll run around his property. Let me know the results of that on Monday, Ralph. Would you? How that goes?
You may not see me. I might be in hospital on Monday.
Ralph will be out of work on Monday.
Like our captain says, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yeah.
Man, it's so important in this area. So important. And you had down here, you want to talk about the secure lockbox program.
Yes.
What is that?
We just started that last month. We've had a couple of calls where we weren't able to get into the patient, or the ambulance service wasn't able to get into the patient. So they called the fire department, which we have all kinds of nice tools that can, get into stuff. And we were very fortunate. We did not have to destroy people's doors or windows or everything else. But with this lockbox program, all they do is they pick up an application. It is online under I believe the city has it. It is under our Facebook page.
Nice.
Get the application, fill it out, bring it in, email it to myself, and we set up kind of like a little talk appointment on the phone. Find out exactly, their needs, their wants, and it's something that we've had a couple of people kind of concerned because they thought their family members needed to know the combination to the lockbox. That's not the purpose.
Right.
It's strictly for fire, EMS, and police.
And this is a lockbox you provide.
Yes, we provide
Right.
it. There is no charge.
It's not for family members.
No,
it's for yours in case emergency services are needed. You guys can get to them to help them as quickly as possible.
Right. And in our computer system and everything else, everybody that needs it has access to the codes to where they can get it and help them, and we get there faster. And hopefully it's a good turnout, not something that turns out bad.
Right.
Well, that sounds like a great program.
I like that idea. I think it's great.
And all they have to do is call the police department. Even City Hall is aware of it and everything, and they could, or refer them to us.
And it's something you provide at no cost.
No cost.
To them.
No cost.
But what added protection, what a great added measure and safety for the people. That's nice. That's a really neat thing.
Now, Patti, do you guys also on an annual basis, do you do a whole thing where you go and help people check their smoke detectors and that, or replace smoke detectors and that if they need it?
We do get free smoke detectors through Arizona Burn Foundation. They're getting, because of course they get their stuff through donations and stuff too. So we have a few left. Each home we provide 2 smoke detectors if they're needed. There's no questions asked, no nothing. It's free for nothing. If they do need somebody to come help install them or figure out where they're needed to be placed and everything, we can do that. We haven't had to because, usually it's the really old smoke detectors in people's homes that are worn out and they're not working anymore. So they know where
replacing them.
Yeah, they're just replacing them.
And I have one other thing too, because I live in a rural area.
Right.
What about snake removal?
No.
No, not you personally, right?
Don't do snakes.
So you guys don't
Negative
do
on the
removal at all?
snake.
Okay.
Don't do snakes.
All right.
But hey, they did negative on the snake. Sorry, Ralph. They can't help you there.
Well, I know who I'm not going to call. If I
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
right. That's exactly.
I'm gonna-
Check that one off.
I'm going to call for Smith & Wesson.
There you go.
That's right.
Take care of things out on your own property in the county there. So you guys provide a tremendous amount of services, Patti. You guys are so busy. You've got down here some things you like to do in your spare time. How do you have any spare time? I think I just answered that question.
It's, I have very blessed to have most of my family right here in this area. But, furthest one away is in Tucson, but that's not far, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just have to make time and do family things. And, it's wonderful that I'm able to watch my kids, still here, my grandkids, my great-grandbabies.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody
awesome.
looks at me and is like, you can't be a great-grandma. Yes, I can.
I was
3
going to
times.
say, come on.
3 times I'm a great-grandma.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
People told me I couldn't be a great grandma either, so it's okay.
You don't have the hair for it. So.
Yeah.
I don't have enough hair.
You don't have the
for anything.
But yes, I am very blessed to be able to do that. And the reading and the sewing and all that other stuff that I enjoy so much, when I get home, that's my downtime.
Yeah.
Get ready for bedtime.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's very important.
And a little bit of like a therapeutic thing in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you like to read?
Just about anything.
Really?
Yes.
No specific genre of reading or just something that just grabs your attention?
Oh, I have lots of different ones.
All right, Patti, we'll let that go.
Yeah, it's terrible that
Fire manuals.
No.
I'm sure it's the furthest thing.
Yeah, I'm very into J.A. Jans. I love her books.
Yeah, Debbie is too. My wife, she loves her books and how she writes.
Janet Ivanovich, Anna, or I think it's Ann Hillerman. All of those,
Nice.
and most of them are, law enforcement related.
Yeah,
type
they
things.
are. They are. But they're also escapism, right?
It
You
is.
can turn your mind off a little bit and read and enjoy.
And I love J.A. Jans because a lot of her books are down about this area.
Very much based on history
Yeah,
in this area.
In this area.
Very
And-
entertaining reads.
Yes, very much.
So, Bob, don't you have like a question of the day?
I was going to say, speaking of entertaining reads, Ralph,
that's
thank you for
right.
the segue, Ralph. Patty, we do a question of the day, and you don't know what the question is, but you do have some control over it.
Okay.
I have 8 questions in front of me, so you just have to choose number between 1 and 8, and that is the question I'll read you. What would you like?
Let's do 3.
Question number 3. Which animal do you think would be most insulted by its animal cracker likeness? You have grandkids and great grandkids. They have to eat animal crackers, right? At some point. Which one would be insulted by their likeness on the crackers? That doesn't look like anything like me.
Even if it doesn't have one currently.
Yeah. Which one do you think would be insulted by that? I mean, that's thinking about all the different animal crackers. Surely while you're reading your book, you're sitting there, Patti, eating animal crackers.
And wondering if one of them is going to be insulted by it.
Yes. Maybe that'd be even part of it. I'm insulted that I'm in frosting. I don't understand this. What's going on?
I'm going to say a snake because they would be insulted.
I think they pretty much insulted by anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I would think. I mean, anything you would do, they would like, how dare you? How dare you put that, make me a cracker.
Get that frosting out of here.
Yeah, that's right. It looks nothing like me.
That's right. It just looks like this little thing like that.
Just a little wavy line
thing,
is all it is. Right.
It's a snake.
All I know is I am not delicious. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
I am dangerous.
I'm
an animal.
Sometimes snake is delicious, you know?
Well, Patti, there are no right or wrong answers, and I think that was fantastic. I like that. I like that with this.
What do we have for a prize, Bob?
Yeah, well, absolutely nothing. Thanks for coming. No. Thank you, Patti. Hey, guys, we've been talking with Patti Ackerson-Rodriguez, who's the Assistant Fire Chief for the Willcox Department of Public Safety. And let's talk your social media accounts real quick where they can find, like you were talking about, Facebook page, it can go for information, things like that. Where can they find it?
On Facebook, of course. And it is under Willcox Fire Rescue.
Okay.
And we put out every day almost fire warnings, smoke detectors, fire prevention information, you name it. City events that's going on.
Good stuff for people to know.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So get it out there on Facebook, and if you have a Facebook account, Facebook page, follow them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure on the website is a good resource. The city's website is probably for you guys. Do you have some information there as well?
Yeah, there is.
And if you like fireworks, make sure you donate.
Please.
Yes.
It's that time of year.
Yes.
Patti, thanks for coming in today. Hopefully that was very painless for you, relatively painless for you.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching. That is very true. Guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Valley's Bits, Bytes, and Banter. For my co-host, Ralph Score, I'm your host, Bob Dahlstrom. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to download, subscribe, share, and like other episodes. Until the next one, we'll see you soon, everybody.